Chris Bellini here, the Blue Jean Critic, with my quick take on the new film Bad Santa 2. Billy Bob Thornton returns as Willie Soak, a former thief who's put his criminal past behind him. He's trying to reintegrate himself into society, but he's having a difficult time. He's out of work, he's out of money, and things are starting to look a little desperate. That's why he decides to re-team with his backstabbing ex-partner Marcus, played by Tony Cox, and they stage a new heist. This time, the two are off to Chicago to rob a charitable organization on Christmas Eve, and they've even added a new member of the crew, Sunny Soak. That's Willie's mother, played by Kathy Bates. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Here's a scene from the film where, although Willie's back in a Santa suit, you're going to get a pretty good idea at least one of the reasons why he's a bad Santa.
What can I do for you?
Will you be able to find me at my grandma's house in Grand Rapids? Because no one's going to be at our Chicago house for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll find you. But hey, do Sandy a favor, will you? You know the address of where you're not going to be? Write it down on a piece of paper and bring it back to Sandy, will you? All right, honey, good girl.
I really enjoyed seeing Billy Bob Thornton back in the role. As you can see in that scene, his deadpan delivery was fantastic. His performance is one of the highlights of the movie. Let's talk Kathy Bates, an Academy Award winner playing a crude and rude character. That was really fun as well. And there are some really good laughs here. But I gotta say, I was disappointed with the film overall. It fell flat. When you see a sequel, you expect it to be familiar, but this film felt a little too familiar, a little too similar to the original, and that took away from it. We're talking about laughs, they are there, but I thought the time between laughs was a little too long for me. When you see the film, the pace was a little too slow, a little too sluggish, and that's not a good thing when you're talking about a comedy. You want it to move at a fast pace. Now, there were some good memorable moments between Kathy Bates and Tony Cox and Billy Bob Thornton. A lot of bickering, a lot of great one-liners came out of those scenes. But I felt like they revisited that scenario a little bit too much. So it got a little too repetitive, and that kind of dulled the comedy for me. When you talk about a movie like this, you want there to be a lot of good jokes and gags, and they're there. But it seemed like they took the front seat and the story went to the wayside. Now you're probably saying, wait a second, are you actually talking about story in a film like Bad Santa 2? I know what you're saying, but it is important. When jokes and gags come out of a story, there's so much more fluidity to it, it really pays off well. In this case, I kind of thought that the gags and the one-liners were set up and a story was built around it, and that doesn't pay off as well, especially when some of those gags are hit and miss. Would I recommend it? I'd recommend it to people that like Bad Santa 2, maybe at matinee price, because there's enough comedy and vulgarity there to tide you over. Would I recommend it to everybody else? I'd probably say wait for a DVD Blu-ray release on this one. That's my quick take on the new film Bad Santa 2. Now back to No Name and Ball Rock and Creepy Coffee Movie Time.